Hey there, YouTube land. So today's video, I'm going to talk about what you should look for when you want to buy a Mitchell 300 or probably any Mitchell reel, and what to check for. Now, the first thing you always want to check is to make sure it's turning. Okay, and that's the same with any reel. And if it's not, then what you have to do is you have to take the side plate off and then probably clean the gears, because sometimes old grease can cause a lot of issues. Um, but you'll rarely find a Mitchell reel like that. But if you do, that's usually the problem. Another thing you always want to check for is your anti-reverse. Make sure that's always working. And if it's not working on these Mitchells, the problem is that right where this switch is, there's a little plastic dog on at least these types. Uh, the older ones from the 50s that have a V-shaped anti-reverse lever have like a metal version, but on these they have a plastic one. And what happens is sometimes the teeth in the dog get worn down, so it can't lock into your main gear to keep it from going back. So then you have to buy a replacement anti-reverse dog, which aren't very hard to find. You can find them on eBay pretty easily. So there's that. The other thing you want to make sure is that your bail opens and shuts good. If it doesn't, then oftentimes this is bent. Uh, and then what you have to do is you have to take this screw off and then bend it back till you get it to close. I know the Mitchell Reel Museum YouTube channel has a good video on this. I'll try to link it in the description below. But that's another thing that you always want to make sure of. And always make sure your drag's working, and that it's holding. If it's not, then the problem usually is, I'll show you here in a second. I'll show you here. Just get this apart. Is that spring? There's a spring in there, and if this is either missing or broken, then your drag will not work right. And another reason could be is if this piece is missing, then you're not. It's this controls the tension on your drag. So there's that. So and so those are the main things you want to inspect for when you find one. But if there are issues with it, then most of those issues are pretty easily repaired. And that's what's good about these. They're a very simple reel. They're not that complicated, and there's not really much that can go wrong with them. And that's why I like them. And don't worry about the paint if you're buying it to use. If you're buying it for collection, then yeah, you might want to worry about the paint. But if you're just going to buy it to use, don't worry about the paint. That doesn't do anything to the reel. You can repaint them if you want, but I just don't, because, well, one, I'm too lazy to, and two, it's not really that big of a deal to me. But anyway, so that's always what you want to look for in a Mitchell 300 reel. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, please comment, like, and subscribe.